From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Brown Python Ben, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and myself, Benjamin James, a.k.a. Blueberry Sugar, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebucks for the music.
That's the nastiest fucking name ever.
And it's real, too. I'll tell you a backstory on it in Party in the Back.
Oh,
but
boy.
And also shout out to my boy Jeremy Masters. Got some things going on right now, man. Keep your hearts and your prayers and positive mental attitudes, sending them his way right now. Big friend of the show. If you haven't heard episode 37, we definitely need to have him back on.
Yeah, we do.
It's been way overdue. Like, we had planned it to have him on again, and it just things kept happening, but that's going to happen. But hey, if you're kind of a newer listener, go way back to episode 37, one of my favorites.
We went deep.
We went deep, dude. That was actually, that was a classic. 37 is an actual Skip the Noise classic. So that's, there's several of them that I think are like worthy of calling it that. But anyway, without further ado, it's been once again another interesting week. I'm excited about a particular topic I have, but we're not starting with that. Big news, our Presidente, Biden just keeps fucking, boy, he is.
Yep.
It's getting worse and worse and worse. So what's the new, the student loans? Ben, you want to kick us off?
Well, actually, our esteemed colleague dropped the dime on this one, but basically, during the press pool, they asked Jen Psaki, hey, so what about this, delaying student loans again, et cetera, et cetera. She goes, no. Student loans are restarting and it's a priority for this government. So basically, she doesn't care, right? Basically, once again, a campaign promise that he made is now going to be completely glanced over.
Well, not only that. Not only is it glanced over, it's a priority to glance over.
Yeah, it's a priority to glance over, which is even fucking worse.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like a deliberate agenda item.
It's like, I know I'm going to back away my campaign promise, but now it's a priority that I back away from this thing now.
Like, you know what's at the top of our list? Completely going against what I said I was going to do when I campaigned for presidency. That's our top priority. That's what we're focused on. Everything else can take a back seat to us undoing our promises.
Basically, we're going to go against our immigration policy that we thought.
Matter of fact,
the shit we talked Trump about immigration policy. We're going to keep the same policy and then have our border agents go and round them up like it's the fucking OK Corral, dude. And then now we're gonna fucking the fucking thing we were supposed to do was take away student loans. We're gonna at least help. We're not gonna do anything for that at all.
No.
And we're gonna give trillions to a bunch of big corporations to rebuild the nation, and it's not gonna happen. Oh my God!
Oh, you forgot the part where we're gonna get tax incentives.
Wait a minute,
so rich people can buy electric vehicles.
I know. Oh my God, he bumped it up. So that's the crazy part, right? You can get up to what, $12,000, and if you and the best part is, guess what the cutoff is? Cats and kittens. It's fucking $500,000 joint income. So people that make $500,000 jointly will be able to write off on $80,000 vehicles.
Bro.
What the fuck is happening with the Biden administration? Look, as much as I have to say, like, being a Democrat or being liberal, this has gone to just a whole different level. I mean, not to spot or drop my own tweet, but basically we're looking at but we're looking at an elitist, like, so the Republicans got a populace who literally would go to whatever toxic, horrible whim that they wanted to talk about. He went all in. Mm-hmm. But we have a senile fuckface who is literally not doing anything he said he was going to do. Immigration. Oh, okay. Fuck them. Fuck those guys.
Remain in Mexico's back.
Well, right. All the shit he said was bullshit. He's gonna fucking basically do again.
Remain in Mexico's back.
Cages are back. Fucking now he even one upped them. I mean, like I said, he gave the fucking the Border Patrol the lassos of truth. I mean,
nice.
in the end. And now he just basically took the rug out for the student loan program, which it's just like, okay, we have uncontrolled inflation, which that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
we've been saying this for a while now. That's the reality. We're in uncontrolled inflation. We have a overvalued stock market. We have just monetary policy that has completely, I mean, you have the chairman of the Fed second guessing everything he's done for the last year. That's terrifying. All of this is happening, and we're not even really what he just fucking took office in
January.
We're not even a year yet. He just fucking took office, and we literally have watched almost a monumental collapse of much shit. That was all the leftover shit after Trump, like the couple of things that were still standing, he's knocked them down. So it's
we got, like you just pointed out, I'll be honest, it didn't even occur to me like that until just now that, oh yeah, we've got 3 years and some change left.
Oh, we got fucking wars with fucking.
Can you imagine?
What war are we gonna get into now,
bro? We're gonna.
It'll probably be a war with an ally, man, because he's so much into China right now. It'll probably be a war with Taiwan.
No,
we're gonna fight alongside China.
No, I honestly, I don't know where he's going, and to be quite honest with you,
it's kind of scary when you find out where he's going.
Oh, well, it is such a simple game plan for the Democrats to win in 22 and 24. It's very simple. Legalize marijuana.
Yep.
Look, you don't have to forgive student loans. Just take the interest away. Right. Just make them interest-free loans.
How is the government going to make money?
Well, no, the government. See, that's the sad thing. The government doesn't make money off these. These are all private. It's the loan servicers who are making the money. Let the government take the loans. I guarantee you, if they stop the interest, it wouldn't be some $1 trillion thing they'd have to buy. We're talking about probably significantly less. Just fucking stop the interest. Let people pay off these loans and not be then take care of them over time, instead of people paying for 30 years and they still have the same fucking balance. And then at the same time, make colleges free for most people.
Right.
I mean,
that's not going to work.
Things like that, but it does need to work.
No. You're going Chavez, man. All right.
No, I don't think so.
When Venezuela had it good.
It's always you in Venezuela.
No. Hugo Chavez promised free shit all the time. Okay. Hey man, I want to give you some free food. I want to give you free college. I want to give you free medical care. And people eat it up. And now look where they're at. Okay.
Well,
but that's not how you win elections. I mean, that's how you win elections.
So that's part of the propaganda machine too, though. Venezuela is not in as bad as a position. They've accepted crypto. They're moving towards different markets. They're at least diversifying. Yes, they accept crypto.
South Park said it best, man. Crypto is a fly-by-night Ponzi scheme. We trust that more than the current banking system in America.
Well, look at it. It's happening now. I mean, this is the reality we're stuck in. This is our reality.
People like made-up currency. They trust that more than the American dollar. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah. Well, because of the volatility, right? I mean, then people are making a lot of fucking money in crypto and then dumping it. I mean, it's basically really rich people starting shit and then
dumping it. Yeah, it's a Ponzi scheme.
And then dumping it. It's a Ponzi scheme, and everybody's kind of getting sucked into it. But yeah, I just have to kind of put an ear marker here. We're not even a year into this fucking dude's term, and he has basically not fulfilled any of his promises at all. And not only that, he basically just he's placated everybody. Like we just literally have an elitist. We have a daddy who doesn't listen. It's like whenever your kids come to you and they're like, "Oh, Dad," you're like, "Okay, yeah, I'll buy you a pony." Cool. You're never gonna fucking buy that kid a pony. And honestly, the American people are screaming for ponies, screaming for shit. The Democratic Party's not doing anything. It's just,
we're not screaming for ponies. I think American people are screaming for
freedom,
for food. Let's just say food. Okay, we're using the analogy of the kid. A kid will scream for a pony when they have everything to them and they want a fucking pony.
Right.
But a kid who needs something, who's malnourished, will scream for food or shelter or love. We're not getting that shit from the government, man.
Well, yeah.
We're
I'll
getting really
pump the
fucked.
brakes. I know. I think we're close to the pony analogy. We're pretty rich in this country, dude. We have everything.
Yeah. Have you been to the grocery store lately? It's fucked up.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But that's inflation,
Everyone's
which
poor
also
now.
which we can now also add to the mix. But this uncontrolled inflation, we're just in a very bad position. And unfortunately, you know, when you see CNN running stories about who could replace Biden in 2024, that's not good.
Right, like we're still in 2021.
It's fucking 21. They're already
Not
trying
even
to
22.
Who's gonna pinch hit for the rest of his term? I mean,
for real.
it's fucking it's a real problem. So,
dude, it's like a pitcher, like your starting pitcher. It's like you're not even through the first half inning,
right?
And he's already given up like 12 runs.
Well,
like,
we'll divide, right?
And you're like, oh fuck, like we can't even get through one fucking
like the
inning.
fucking Astros, like that
It's
fucking
over. Like,
dipshit. The
yeah.
fucking first inning gave up 5 runs. Fucking
Well, not only that, but let's just
homo.
say let's just hear the coach. You sit the start pitcher down. You got the secondary coming up. Who is no better than that? It's probably worse than the first one.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
So you got Kamala Harris, who
2024. Check it out. By 2024, the country will be run by fucking tribal warlords. That's what, bro.
possibly.
That's really what's gonna happen.
Dude, at the rate this shit is going, that's our future.
Well, you know, and not to throw this out there, but you know, Chief Justice Roberts, he had a wonderful dissension in regards to some of this abortion rulings. And I think I fucking telling you guys, that fucking asshole, he was picked to be the super conservative, but I'll be honest with you, he is trying.
He's a closet liberal, man.
No, he fucking hates liberals. He hates it, but he understands the position of the Supreme Court. And he said a wonderful thing. Well, not wonderful, but actually a scary allegory to a future, was that we're at the point now where the Supreme Court will become invalidated because it's going to start ruling based on political whims versus protecting the Constitution. And we're going down a very slippery slope. And he goes, by allowing states to do like Texas did with this abortion law, they're subverting constitutional rights. What's next? What else can be taken away? If California does it against guns, how would you stop that? He goes, we're heading, and I like this term, he said, into a constitutional civil war between red and blue states. So they will just basically invalidate each other with state laws that will run contradictory to each other state. It's like a legal civil war. And honestly, the union cannot survive things of that nature. Our Constitution is not ready for that. No political documents ready for that. So that's where we're heading. So I have to say, as much as I may have hated on him when he first came in, that motherfucker's smart and he sees the big picture. And I'm glad that he's the Chief Justice because he's trying to bring balance. We have no balance in the Supreme Court. We have no balance in our politics. Our president shits himself 3 or 4 times a day.
That's true.
The next president who's going to come, he fills up his daughter at least 4 times a day and is on fucking Adderall times 30.
That's not true.
Shit's looking bleak as fuck, dude. You know what Trump is? He's Travis Scott. Trump is Travis Scott of politics. He likes people to break and run shit and do dumb things. Whereas Biden's like the King George of old. He's this fucking fossil relic of elitism that tells you what you need to do.
Hey, but here's the thing, though. I mean, when is the Democrat Party going to get new blood?
They can't.
You got Hillary. You got
they're
Pelosi. You got Biden. You got the Obamas. They won't go anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
Nope.
They need new blood, and they have to recognize it. They don't want to recognize that.
Well, because they can't control the new blood, right? I mean, AOC, people like that.
That's when it's so. Here's the thing. Check this out. That's the result. That's what you get when you allow the political landscape to be run by two parties, right?
Yeah.
That, okay, both they sort of stand by some sort of ideology, allegedly, right? On paper, that's what the word is. But what it really is just two different organizations. It's like positive, negative that are like driving the acceleration of the shit. But when you have one like the Democratic Party that's absolutely fucking shambles, like organizationally, it's the whole thing is fucking up. Whereas like say what you want about the Republicans, at least like they're like they have each other's back. Like I'm just kind of breaking this down like conceptually, right? Like they're winning the war when it comes to like I don't know, man. Like that, like there's so I'm trying to think of the way to put this, but like because the Democratic, well, like you just said, right? Like the Democratic Party has failed to produce any fucking candidate of any value. Well, no, they don't, but I mean they do, but then they fuck them because it's so corrupt.
It's also
right, but they don't want that. They don't want a legit candidate.
You know, they're not gonna fucking do Tulsi. She's not gonna.
No, that's what I mean, and that's the problem. They don't even allow the candidates within their own party because it's so fucked and in shambles. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know,
embarrassing.
Even the Democratic Party's delegate system is screwed up. So you got the people who vote for the candidate that they want. Let's just say majority wants Bernie. But then you have super delegates whose vote counts a little more, and those chill for the establishment. So you're never going to get a new candidate to run because these super delegates are paid and bought for by the establishment. So that's why they don't go anywhere. They never progress. They got these old fossils that are ruining the country, as you can see right now. But
yeah, you said it a lot more concise. But yeah, I was basically trying to explain the same thing.
Yeah,
like, and that's why. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and the Republican Party, though, for all its faults, they do change. I mean, Ron DeSantis came to power. Donald Trump, populists. The people like Bob Dole and the Bushes, I mean, they're ousted. They're out. The Cheneys, they're out.
Which is crazy.
It's supposed to happen that way. But it's supposed to evolve. It's supposed to advance. That's, like sharks. If you keep a shark stable, steady, not moving, it dies.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. And that's once again, that kind of brings up again. So the Democratic Party wouldn't have allowed a Trump.
Never.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, say what you want, but like Trump drove, he allowed like, I'm trying to think of an analogy, but like his sort of, I guess, rock stardom, and the amount of support he was able to gain, not only that, but a support network that was very fucking, like aggressively, I'm sounding like a fucking idiot, but basically like he was very, I guess like the best way to say it is like kind of because obviously he was a celebrity, but I mean, it's almost like a rock star candidate, right? Like you have all this hype and there's this extra little something, as opposed to the Democratic Party, which they kind of had a little bit of that sort of quality, but they shunned it down. Whereas the Republican Party was just like, fuck it, this is what's winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is what's like, in other words, that's what I'm trying to say. They recognize the fact that like, hey, we don't really like this guy, but for the sake of our agenda,
the party,
he's pushing the vote, like he's getting motherfuckers to vote, and that's going to help us. Whereas the Democratic Party don't see that, and they shut that shit down.
Well, they would have brought Bernie in, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Bernie was it. Bernie would have fucking smashed
Bernie was the
Trump.
Equivalent.
Bernie would have smashed him.
It
wouldn't even been a contest.
And they didn't let him shine. They shelved him because it didn't fit into the parties. That was the whole.
I'll tell you right now, Bernie would have won by fucking 10 points. He would have smashed Trump. It wouldn't even been a fucking contest. You know what the first thing Bernie would have did the first fucking day? He would have legalized weed. He would have got rid of student loans. And guess what? We'd have 20 or 30 years of Democrats in power. But instead, it's just it's annoying.
If the Republican Party was like the Democrat Party, we would have had a Jeb Bush versus Hillary Clinton in 2016.
But that's what y'all are trying to do.
What?
That's
Jeb Bush?
Jeb Bush. That was, dude. Remember, dude?
Yeah, that's establishment, dude.
Fox News was fucking jerking him off. Like,
I know.
Jeb Bush was the man. Him and Marco Rubio. They're like, oh, he's kind of ethnic. We can show that we're ethnic. But instead they went for the populist.
Yeah, but because of the way that the delegate
like the
system
Nazis
is set up in the
Huh?
Republican Party, the way that delegate system is set up in the Republican Party, it allowed for a populist to take over versus the Democrat Party would never ever allow that.
Right.
Those super delegates would have torn him down.
Well, I'll be quite honest with you. I think the Democratic Party, and that's kind of part of the Democratic philosophy, is the elitism.
To each according to his means. Oh,
well, it's elitism. There is elitism because I remember Republicans, in essence, in their roots, before they became super racist around the 60s, whenever the Southern Democrats changed parties and they decided to try to be horrible to everyone else. This is Republicans were the party that freed slaves. They were about state and individual rights, right?
They still are. Yeah.
No, they're not. They're not, because they want to tie down abortion. They won't, they want to make everyone pray, and everyone has to pray at school, and everyone has to listen to right-wing Christian ideals, which basically is not freedom. That's just our freedom. Our
vaccines, vaccine mandates.
Dude, I'm not saying the Democrats are much better. What I'm saying is that neither are the Republicans. Right, because they're not preaching freedom. They're preaching control via right-wing propaganda.
What?
It's the same shit. Yeah, dude.
What?
Oh, come on, bro.
Preaching control?
No, if anyone says something about cops, oh my God, cops are special. Oh, the blue line. Fuck you. They're fucking overstepping their bounds and beating and killing motherfuckers for no reason. I'm not saying all of them, but guess what, dude? If out of 1,000 pharmacists, 10 of them are killing people, there's a fucking problem with pharmacy. There's a lot of cops that are doing horrible shit.
Hey, if
that's true. It's fucking true, bro.
That's a funny analogy. Like,
it is. If you got 10 pharmacists just fucking like killing motherfuckers left or right, you got a problem.
No.
Dude, check it out. Like this, somebody comes up to Walgreens and they're kind of an asshole. They're like, I need my blah, blah, blah. They bang on the table. Like, I've been waiting here for 5 minutes. I need my Percocet or blah, 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 blah. I need this. The pharmacist is like, oh, okay. You know what? Fuck you. Die. Write them a script for like something that's going to kill them based on their allergies and shit. And they're like, here you go. Here's your Percocet. Fuck you.
Or rather, what the pharmacist does? No, what the pharmacist does most of the time, they just give them the pills. That's why we got such a fucking rampant pill problem in the Midwest, because that's what pharmacists did. See, that's the problem is there's this stupid, weird right-wing propaganda for everything. So I'm not trying to say, and definitely right, vaccine mandates, all this bullshit. There's an issue, right? There's a serious fucking problem, but in the end. Freedom is not being preached by either party.
I think it is. I think you see it. You see it in Florida. You see it Texas, except with the abortion thing.
Well, except the abortion thing, the weed thing.
But Florida,
the weed
Florida
thing, the bail thing.
Florida has a lot of freedom going for it right now.
What?
Ron DeSantis.
What?
Explain to me.
Explain. That's it. Okay. We're just gonna, we're gonna go with the hillbilly. We're gonna go with the hillbilly science.
No state income tax. Okay. Not like the blue states.
Most states have Okay, look, the state income tax concept. That's because right. But what do you pay every? What do you? Okay. How much do you pay? Okay. What do you pay every month when you own a home in the state, or when you rent? Even if you rent a home, what do you pay?
I don't know. I mean, you pay
property tax.
Property tax, yeah.
Okay, so state income tax in most states is around 2 to 3%, 1.5% after deductions, right? You pay. So most people do not make as much as their house costs every year. A majority of people
Got
buy
it.
a home that costs more than their annual rate.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So after deductions, you pay about 1.5% in state income taxes. Then you can look it up. That's everywhere. We pay 2.5 to 3% on property taxes on something that is typically 2 to 3 times the amount you make per year. How does that fucking figure out in math? Tell me how the red states are really helping something. And on top of that, we have, on average, red states have shittier fucking education. They have shittier fucking roads. And on top of that,
What?
Yes, it's true. They
Dude,
have, on top of
California's
that,
fucked up, man.
we don't even have a fucking grid that works during the winter.
That's because we want to be independent.
No, right,
I
no.
don't get
That's
that.
because we're cheap, because we let shit happen, because, oh, it's okay for the rich people to do whatever they want to do in these red states. So
The school system in California is better than Texas.
It is dramatically better.
Oh, hell
It's dramatically
no,
better. Dude, no, look
Oh.
at this test scores. Look at everything they do. It's better. Yes. In Colorado right now, they fucking, okay. Like I know someone that lives in Colorado. Their kids had some issues, right?
Right.
Learning. Guess what they
Got
did?
it.
They provided those kids with tutors 8 hours a day for 3 years.
That's what they do
They
here
had
too.
a person. No, they do not.
It's called
Where?
intervention.
Name me what school. Name me what school that does that.
HISD
They
does
don't.
that.
No, they
HISD
do
does that.
not. Not for fucking 3 years. 8-hour tutor that actually calls them every day, helps them with their homework throughout the day. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. They don't do
All
that
right.
here.
It's
No.
called an interventionist.
No, that's
They're
in
hiring-
reality. Dude, it happens all over Colorado. That isn't like a sparkling star. It's just not reality. So you're paying more taxes here than they pay in state income tax. Because guess what? Their property taxes in Colorado, guess what the highest property tax is?
What is that?
0.018. That's the property tax in Colorado. So guess how
Yeah, but
much
that
though?
can go up.
If some no, that's been for years. So when a Colorado person buys a house for $500,000, their fucking mortgage is substantially less than someone who buys a house here for $300,000. Why? Because that's reality. See, there is no like, oh, trade-off, like, oh, the red states, oh, they're gonna be so much better. They're fucking you still. And guess what, motherfucker? There's
What's
no
that?
write-offs really for your fucking property taxes
There is
at all.
There is a
There
write-off
isn't.
with the state with the
No,
federal government.
$24,000, at least $24,000. So if you do the math, that means you have to own. So typical property tax is 3%. So if you're paying $24,000 in property taxes, you have a fucking $700,000 home.
Yeah, that's about right.
Right. So guess what? How
What?
many motherfuckers got $700,000 homes? A majority of people don't. So they're not getting the full write-off benefit from that.
They don't. Oh
No.
shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. So guess what? The red state, oh, less taxes bullshit is bullshit.
It
Plus,
is less taxes.
no, it is
It's
not.
a
in the end.
business friendly environment. Also,
No, it
not
is
as many
not.
regulations.
Is okay.
That's why
Business,
Tesla moved over. That's why
right,
Tesla moved over to
right. So they can
Texas.
pay their workers less. Okay, continue. So how is this better for the average person? They
How's
can't
it
have
pay the workers
reunions.
less?
They can't have unions.
Oh, that's a
people
good
don't
thing.
have rights. How is this good? How is this good?
That's a good
So that
thing.
means so
Well-
wait. So we pay more taxes. We get paid less than everywhere else. Our workers have less rights. I mean, while I
Do you
get
really
what
think unions give you more rights? at
no, I
work?
don't think. No, I'm not saying necessarily unions give you more rights, but what I do believe is, I believe the fact that people can organize can. I'm not saying, look, I know there's cronyism inside unions. I'm not playing it stupid,
You want
but,
Jimmy
but
Hoffa to be
organization.
channeling your money. All right, that's cool.
I believe organization is a big deal. That's all I'm saying. But moving on, because we can do this all day. Because you know what? That's the fundamental. That's always going to be the fundamental difference between someone who is a Democrat and Republican, is tax structure and how it does and does not affect particular people. But I do know one thing: Biden doesn't know anything we're saying, because he's probably taking a shit in the bathtub right now, and someone's telling him no poopy in the water. But continuing on, where we're going to move a little forward, I would have to say, this was going to be a little bit different from where we're going from, because this is actually pretty depressing, because once again, a red state, South Dakota, who doesn't fund shit correctly, had their teachers dodging for dollars on an ice floor in the middle of a hockey rink. I mean, they were like,
me for fun.
They were for fun. Okay. All right. Yeah. There's a lot of things for fun, right? Like, going to the beach, or, eating a ham sandwich or a bowl of cereal. Not dodging for dollars because you have to pay for glue sticks and fucking pencils and some construction paper for your students. And you're looking like a bunch of fucking niptards in the middle of an ice rink.
So let's talk about
set it up better.
Yeah, explain what happened. So they had this event, right? It was at a hockey.
It was a hockey game.
Was it like halftime at a hockey game?
Yeah, it was a high school hockey game, I think, right?
It was a hockey game.
It was.
Teachers basically ran out like
up what team it was.
So I guess the as an entertainment segment of the I don't know if it was halftime or whatever the fuck, they had local teachers out there scrambling, and like did you see the video, Rick?
Yeah, I did. It was sad.
No. So describe like kind of the visual on this shit.
Well, it was kind of like during these little breaks that they have between games, between periods or whatever, they set up like a blanket right in the middle of the ring, and they let out $5,000 in cash, and they set up they asked these teachers to come in.
It was $1 bills too.
It was $1
like
bills,
they're strippers. They're like fucking like,
dude.
Oh, that is, dude. That's like an extra layer of fucking.
And then helmets on. But they probably wanted them to go gladiatorial on them.
Here's the thing. Okay, I get the part where you're trying to make it fun. Okay, you're gonna collect this money and you're gonna take it. But the reason they were collecting this money is for the school supplies. I mean, these teachers were scrambling, putting dollar bills in their shirts and their pants, just trying to stuff as many as they could. And yeah, man. And so that was the sad part.
Yeah, it's just
that was for school supplies. It wasn't even like for their own.
People compared it to Squid Game.
It is. It's bro. It is. Here's the word for it, or the phrase. It's sideshow like mockery.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, get down to you fucking teachers. You can't afford pencils and scissors
and glue sticks.
Glue sticks for your fourth graders. The fucking PTO or the parents aren't donating enough shit. Fuck you. Get in the ring. Get in the ring, motherfucker.
Get in the ring. Put on a fucking helmet and fight for that goddamn money.
Oh, dude, you want to hear something even worse?
We're giving it to you. Don't complain. Don't bitch. You got a helmet on. Here's the cash. Go get it.
You want to hear something worse?
Yeah.
You want to hear something fucking worse? South Dakota ranks near the bottom of U.S. states in teacher pay. They're only behind Mississippi. The only state that beats them is Mississippi. You know how much worse it gets now that not only were they scrambling for dollars, great Republican state there, really using their fucking money well. They fucking, dude, I'm telling you, it's a travesty.
I mean, the cost of living is lower in South Dakota.
Okay,
you can't compare that to California or Texas or New York, man.
This was just the motherfucker who was talking about inflation, runaway inflation.
Yeah, you know what? It probably costs a lot better to live in South Dakota right now than Texas.
It does. Now it does. Now, but guess what? It's runaway inflation everywhere. So guess what? The cost of living has gone up dramatically for everybody. And these fuckers are so bad that these guys are dodging for fucking dollars for glue sticks.
They're not
fucking
dodging.
like it. I don't know.
Okay.
I like it. Okay. I like the fucking phrase. I'm going to stick with it. Okay. So critique all you need to. Okay. These cocksuckers got fucking helmets on, bro. It's like duck, dive, dodge. Fuck it.
But yeah, it is. It's mocking the fucking.
It's
teacher.
fucking sad.
Like, hey, look, hold on a second. Like, these are the people that taxpayers' money is paying to educate the youth of the future, or like not the youth of the future, like the youth of today for the future of your fucking society. So yeah, fuck them, fuck these animals. Get in the ring and slop around like some fucking pigs and shit for some fucking dog food.
It is like that.
Fuck you. That's what it is, dude. These are who you're entrusting for the education of your children. Fuck them. Put them in the hockey. It's halftime.
Dude,
it's not halftime.
This is so much worse now. It's getting worse. I feel so much more sad for these pig teachers. This is Animal Farm
Bro,
microcosm in a fucking ring, dude.
Get the fuck off the ice. I want to see somebody get checked into the.
Oh, bro, and the worst part, it's a junior hockey league. It's not even like an NHL team. It was like some shitty junior.
Well, yeah, it's South Dakota, dude. They don't have professional sports. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, rough.
Was it college or is it like a minor league?
No, it's like a junior league. So I think it's like a kids league. Another Republican state, well run.
Yeah,
well run.
By the way, for the sake of the show, just on behalf of the Skips Noise podcast,
love South Dakota.
We're not laughing. We're only laughing, right? So officially, we're not laughing. We're just laughing.
Oh my God! You want to hear something worse? Teachers spend $750 a year out of their own pockets for classroom supplies and related expenses. So technically, they spend almost 1/49th of their pay every year to try to pay for this stuff. So no wonder they were fucking jumping for dollars. You know what? At least if they were gonna like embarrass them, they should have given them swords or something. At least had a fight to the death for the $5,000.
Oh yeah, like a real,
or like a twerk contest. Just if you're gonna embarrass them, just really go all in. You know what I'm saying? Like make them twerk and work their asses. That would have been great.
Make them get in those like at the carnival when the sumo suits.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That would have been awesome. They just run at each other on the ice with sumo suits.
And they slip and shit.
Oh boy.
You guys ever had an employer where like their bonus to you was where they put you in that little box with dollar bills and they like blow it and you're supposed to like collect it?
That'd be an awesome boss.
That would be your Christmas bonus, whatever you can collect, That's hey, you got $500 as your Christmas bonus right there.
How degrading would it be though? Like your bonus, try to get it,
Exactly.
Here's a dollar, get that dollar. I mean,
you got like a little leaf blower and it's blowing like all these dollar bills, and you only have like $500 in there anyway.
Bills too. It was $1 bills. It wasn't even like fucking fives. It was like the $1 bills reserved for the shitty stripper. You didn't even give them like the good stripper money. Bro. It's just fucking sad, bro.
It's like
so fucking
your
sad.
boss calls you to the fucking office to distribute the bonuses, and then he comes in and like grabs your cheeks and like shoves it in your fucking mouth.
There goes your money.
You
like that money, piggy?
Animal.
You like that money, you little piggy? You little piggy? Here.
Have you guys ever tried to give a stripper a $2 bill?
What?
Have you guys ever tried to give a stripper a $2 bill?
No.
Man. She'd be pissed, man. She thinks you're giving her like fake money.
Oh, right. This is
Yeah,
bullshit. Bullshit. I'm twerking.
She'll call you out too.
Huh? $2 bills. Well, why are you giving away? You're supposed to keep those for good luck. Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get them from a Lunar New Year, So what do you do with them? You can't put them in in vending machines. So you just give them to strippers. It's all good.
Oh boy.
But anyway, just saying. Here in Houston, I don't know if it happens all over the country, but here in Houston, during Lunar New Year, it's customary to give $2 bills to, kids or adults or whatever. It's $2 bills for some reason. I don't know where that condition came.
Yeah, I think it's because it's luck, right?
It's I don't know. The only time I ever heard about it is here in Houston.
No, I have a partner that does it also, like it for Lunar New Year. So in particular, like depending on who, like where they're from.
How much you like the person, really?
Huh?
It depends how much you like the person. Like, are you gonna give them a red envelope full of $2 bills or just like a hi?
Oh, true that. I still get it. I don't like the
person.
Do? Yeah, I get it every year, but I really don't like the person. But moving on, another sad. This is a slightly sad story. Well, no, very very sad and tragic story. I guess we should probably touch on the unfortunate natural mass casualty event that occurred in Kentucky with the tornadoes. So if y'all don't know, I mean, I imagine everyone should know by this point. So it's December 14th, 2021. So if you timestamp back or whatnot, the weekend prior, there was a massive amount of storms that occurred in the Midwest, in particular Kentucky, and I think a couple other states, that was a mass casualty event. I think 50 to 100 people in that range died from tornadoes that basically ripped through. One tornado traveled 128 miles. Whole towns were leveled.
The tornado traveled 128 miles? Damn.
Yes. Yeah. One literally traveled that far. It was madness.
Terrible. Big
madness. Just so sad,
Sure.
so sad. So all, first and foremost, all of our prayers to all the victims and families and all the people that have to start all over. We pray that everything works out and that you find peace, and whatever you had monetarily could be replaced. Just and for the people that lost family members and stuff, they're in a better place. We pray for y'all, and hopefully that you'll find something to go. But moving on, unfortunately, we have to kind of look at some of the evil players that contributed to some of the loss of life, and one in particular was
the
tornado. Of course, tornadoes are dicks. But the second dick in this situation would probably have to be Amazon. There was a warehouse with contract workers, and individuals were informed, despite the massive warnings of tornadoes, because weather is pretty, we could kind of forecast the weather pretty good. They were told that despite all the dangers, that if they left work, they would probably be fired. And of course, I think 8 to 12 workers died when that particular Amazon warehouse collapsed. Worst case, the other parts is that they were not during the tornado warning. OSHA and other, worker safety protocols typically dictate that you move all workers into a safe spot in the building. They were not. That did not occur.
Toward the back.
Nope.
Yep. Toward the or something like some type of. Every building has like we have it. It's like walled in by cement. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, you have your best chance of survival there. They were not. So a lot of things went wrong. A lot of people died that shouldn't have. And once again, Amazon's in the middle of this in the regards to worker treatment. So it's pretty sad. What do you guys think? What do y'all feel about that?
It's kind of like when people in Chinese sweatshops will stay there, and then they'll lock the doors and burn the building down. That's exactly what happened here with Amazon.
It really is. It really is. It's sad.
I mean, they locked the building basically and said, you can't get out, we'll fire you. Right. What do you do? So I don't know, man. There should be some repercussions for that. It probably won't, because they buy out everybody, but
it's pretty fucking sad.
Yeah, no, you're right. There probably won't, unfortunately, be any kind of repercussions. But yeah, and like the other things too is I think a lot of the let's see, from what I hear, like almost 90% of the workers at that place were like third party. I'm not sure exactly, like they hire from outside, right? It's like they're contractors. And so they work there. It's Amazon facility, but kind of like let's say an Uber driver or like a ship shopper, some shit like that.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, it's fucked up, and they couldn't bring their phones in then, so it's like they don't get the weather alerts,
right?
And that is what it is, right? I guess. I mean, there's a certain reason. I guess you don't allow phones, but that's something to get looked at too. They're like, these people are in the dark, so all they have to do is go by what they're getting told, by management. And it led to the deaths of.
No, dude, imagine, and I'm sure this happened, but imagine, you can't bring your phone to work. Right. You're working your ass off. The fucking tornado rips through your line of work, only to find out that your family is probably dead because the tornado went through the house, and you got calls from your wife and kids right before that happened.
Right. How sad. How scary.
Yeah, dude. I know. You get
terrifying.
Your phone, you're like, shit. My wife and kids were calling me like 10 times, and I wasn't there.
Right. No, I know.
Yeah, man. I'm sure that happened.
That's horrifying. Oh, it had to have.
And just to relay a quick personal experience I've had with this, because a long time ago, many moons ago, and I feel like another life ago, I was a manager at a video game store.
Oh yeah.
And it was crazy. A tornado touched down right by the store. I immediately and I'm not a special person. There's nothing great about me. There's nothing like humanity wise. I do horrible things. I'm not a good person. But I immediately grabbed everyone and pushed everyone to the restroom and said, just, we don't know what's going to happen. My first, and I didn't even lock the doors. I wasn't even worried about nothing. I just said, fuck it, get into the restrooms. That's the safest spot we can be in. And we waited there. It doesn't take a lot to be a decent human being. right? I'm not the greatest human being. I never will be the greatest human being. That I'm not Thor. I'm not some fucking superhero. I'm just a fucking dude who cares. Who really likes his kids and it kind of thinks everyone else can go fuck off, except for the individuals on this fucking podcast. But in the end, it doesn't take a lot
to be decent,
to be a decent human being, and I could do that. And this was just a couple of people in a video game store. This is hundreds of people with hundreds of lives, and they couldn't even fucking worry about them. So it's just a shame. It's just a damn shame. So yeah. I really hope there's repercussions. I hope there's criminal repercussions, because I think at some point we really need to hold businesses accountable for this kind of bullshit. So,
and who was the other person you were going to talk about that was a hypocrite?
Rand Paul.
Oh,
and his complete hypocrisy regarding this whole situation.
I do help you with this kind of thing, man. Yeah, I know you're gonna rag on Rand Paul, but you know what? You
don't like Rand Paul that much, anyways. I know you don't.
I do.
You
I
don't
like
fucking
him.
like
I do.
him. You don't like him that much. You want me to fuck you? You threw me that block of cheese because you don't like his hair.
Fauci, man. I like how he goes after Fauci, and he
like
can stand toe to toe with Fauci because he's an MD too. But
well, yeah, he can. He actually does do a pretty good job. But anyways, so Mr. Rand Paul. Of course, the first thing that most states do whenever there's been a mass casualty event or some type of massive destruction event, they declare a state of emergency for that state or that county in order to get federal funding to help rebuild. So in several instances, when this has been required for other states, Rand Paul has voted against it or voiced his opposition. Of course, what happens after this incident, like any good lawmaker would do, you would, of course, request that there be some type of federal funding, etc. And he was called out on it because everyone's like, oh, wait. Now some shit happened in Kentucky. Also, now you want money, but you tell everybody else no. So big fuck you to Rand Paul. You talk shit to Fauci. I respect that. But you know what? You always got to be careful. Don't spit in the air, because guess what? That shit will land right back in your face. But moving on from a very sad thing, I would like to give a big celebratory applause, massive celebratory applause, because I think an injustice has been righted. We have broken the shackles of the term known as Latinx.
Oh boy.
Fuck Latinx. Yeah. As a fucking Mexican, Latin American, I would even say Latin American, or whatever you want to say. This term has been the bane of our existence since some fucking punk ass Karen dropped this shit on Twitter to fucking try to tell me how to refer and how to fucking use not only my culture, my language, my people, to tell me how to fucking refer to them.
So what surprised me?
What a horseshit.
What surprised me about this is how universally united everybody was around hating this term.
Well, because we don't like
everybody hated it. Everybody, I mean, I thought it was just a me thing and thing, but
no,
everybody fucking hated this term in our community. It was the worst thing ever. It was
dog shit. It was
dog shit. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to unite all the Latin American people in the world, you just say Latinx and you see us all pull out knives. It was crazy because on Reddit, someone was talking about Latinx and I actually commented. And this is the first time I've ever gotten like 70 or 80 upvotes. Like, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I thought I was going to just get destroyed. And everyone's like, yeah, because nobody fucking liked it.
Well, yeah. And I think the whole thing it highlights, and obviously y'all have more stake in the game than me, but it pissed me off. Even from here's why it pissed me off was like, even without any skin in the game, like personally, it's like, hey, wait a minute. Like, who gets to decide that? Fuck you. Like, you decided that for an entire culture that's existed for seriously,
well, Spanish and
that's
Latin,
what I'm saying. Like, the actual
languages have fucking been around.
So how many years?
Time important.
Millenniums.
How many fucking years? Yeah, millenniums. That configure it of like the O and the A to
oh my god
to signify to signify. Yeah. Just all of a sudden it's like, no, fuck all that.
Amigues.
Like, it's X. Yeah.
Amigues.
Because we can't offend.
God.
We can't assume.
Wow.
I mean,
this was the worst thing out. And so Lulac, it was the League of United Latin American Council.
Yeah.
They the ones who instructed people in their organization to stop using the term in their reports.
Thank God.
So yeah. So by them taking it out, they're recognizing the disdain that Latin American people or Hispanics or whatever you want to call them have for this term.
Yeah.
It was offensive. It really was offensive.
It was annoying.
I found it offensive, and the thing is, when I was in a meeting one time and they were discussing some medical article and they used the term Latinx. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
right.
I'm not an X, okay? I'm a Latino. The girl next to me is a Latina. And if you want to be a trans woman, you're Latina. And if you want to be a trans man, you're Latino. That's it.
Exactly. It's not this complicated bullshit.
No,
it's not. And no one's trying to like subvert or oppress somebody with the language. It's like, hey, fuckface, this is the way it's always been. No one thinks that. It's a reflection
non-binary
context
or whatever.
Yeah.
Look down your pants and tell me what you got, and let's
boy.
sign an A or an O to you.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh boy.
I mean, non-binaries are the people who don't know what they are.
But even in Spanish, right? Latino could kind of reference a person, right? And for those who don't know, there's different like conjugations in Spanish for he, her, them, it. It's actually kind of built into Spanish already in a way. So there just wasn't really a need for this fucking movement. It was just some bitch ass Karen who decided that she was going to take on this fucking Latinx crusade. So whoever you were, I hope you really need to go fuck yourself and find a place to burn yourself. Like if you can get a well, like throw yourself into a well and take care of that, because this was just the disdain of I don't know a Latin American who actually liked this.
Yeah.
I've never met one. And to be quite honest with you, if I went to one of my uncles or one of my cousins and said, "Are you Latinx?" there would be a fist
in the
fight.
face.
It'd be a fist fight. And I would probably get stabbed by my own family.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Are you Amiguex?" I would immediately get stabbed and then beaten to a pulp.
But it's funny because even people in the LGBT community, Latin community, they hated this term.
Exactly. Dude.
Even they hated it. And it wasn't meant for them.
Yeah, like hey guys, no, this should be a bulletin, but I have gay family members, and guess what? That would be the first one to stab me. They were like, "What are you talking about? You're stupid. Let me stab you again." Like they would stab me on the ground. It just what I'm saying? They would beat me. Exactly. Back. They would hit that motherfucker again before he says that shit again. No, dude, it was embarrassing. So I'm glad that we're finally going to get over this abomination. This just it was like almost repression. It was an oppressive. It was just bullshit. So I'm glad this is finally ending.
Once again, stop using it in medical journals and shit, man, because that's annoying as shit.
It's basically, and the reason why it's so frustrating for everybody and why it's such a thing that causes such an emotion is because it's like an example of a very small few deciding for an entire, not only people that have existed now, but like a historical, just things that are built into a culture that is evolved over goddamn, like we said, millennia. To just for some sort of Twitter trend to be like, no, this is how we're going to do it now. Like, wait, what? No, like you don't just get to decide because of, you know what I mean? You've got the most fucking followers on Twitter. Like that's almost to simplify it. That's kind of what the fuck happened. So that's why that's such a big deal. But here it is. Let's go ahead and take a break.
Yeah.
If you got to go pee.
We got heated up. We got
all kinds of fired up, which is good. That's what we like.
Yeah.
Keep that energy level nice and hot. And I also want to give a shout out to Inside the North Side podcast, another fellow Houston podcaster. I will be
Nice.
appearing.
The Latinx.
Yeah, no, definitely right. Definitely,
Fuck.
I don't know his stance on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and venture to say I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but
You
well,
never
maybe
know.
maybe I'll ask him about it. But yeah, I'll be recording that very soon. So that episode will be out. I think sometime maybe in the following week on his show. But we'll keep you updated on that social media wise, and perhaps next episode whichever comes out first. But anyway, shout out to him. Puts together a great show, man. Very, very professional, very varied topics, has interesting guests on. So check that out. Subscribe, follow him on Instagram, all that good stuff. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and go into this break. Hit some tunes by the young man, Mr. Jeremy Masters. So settle back into that. Take yourself a piss, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
And we are back, Party in the Back, second half underway as we speak. And so, daily there of some of the shows I listen to podcast wise, I listen to the BBC World News, or I forgot the name of the actual pod, but it's a daily, actually twice a day. It comes out. It's about a 30-minute program. I check that out pretty much every day. And so just right before we recorded this, I think it was maybe yesterday, they mentioned within the podcast a brief mention of a documentary that they had recently released. BBC had the BBC Africa about these cultist criminal organizations in Nigeria. So the reason why this kind of came to the forefront in the news was recently some documents were leaked linking this criminal organization to like government officials. So it has exposed this whole like levels of corruption that are unheard of and crazy.
Like Nigerian government officials?
Yes. Like there's politicians that have ties to this fucking group. So this shit is crazy. The guy who released this is he's going by some fucking pseudonym. He's fucking hide himself away. He probably lives in goddamn a little cabin in Siberia with like 16 people surrounding it with guns to protect it. Like
what?
So this shit, no, I'm getting hyperbolic. So check this out. So they mentioned this documentary that they recently released, and it had just come out. Like this is fresh. So I watched this shit on YouTube, BBC's Africa's, it's like Black Axe, the deadliest cult in Nigeria. So basically this shit started as University of Benin, I guess is how it's pronounced, like a fraternity of, this group. And I don't know if it's the original name, but it's like basically a anti-colonialism neo-black movement is like neo-black movement of Africa is sort of the foundation of it. But within that, it developed in this like almost like secret cult with fucking violently criminal organization, like everything from like internet fraud to human trafficking, all this shit. So all this shit evolved though from these
like the Nigerian prince camp
in these groups. Well, I'm sure they're involved in that shit. So I'm gonna get into all that. So basically these things though, yeah, and they're like cults, right? They worship these fucking gods and all about, very similar honestly to like the Saint Death and shit like in Mexico with like the cartels.
Yeah.
It's kind of eerily similar to that sort of a dynamic. So anyway, but these groups, dude, they go. So first of all, shout out and fucking props to this journalist from BBC. He's actually originally from Nigeria, and witnessed these like cult killings in the neighborhood that he lived in. Matter of fact, one of his friends got like murdered in the street, and he actually witnessed it. So anyway, that's why he has like a particular interest in this subject. So he covers it. His name's Peter McJob, but he's like a Brit. He's a BBC journalist. But he went into to this group, this Black Axe, dude, and he was like right there with all these people. So first of all, like at the beginning of the documentary, and you have to watch this shit. Like this isn't like suggestion. I'm telling you, dude, like watch this shit. So he goes before, and you can tell he's nervous as fuck the whole time. Like this is the size of this guy's fucking balls. This is real journalism. This motherfucker went in the belly of the beast to get this fucking story.
I thought Brad Stelter was journalism.
Fuck no. This is the shit. This is the real shit.
Oh, okay.
If you don't fucking if you get anything out of this fucking Peter McJob, it's probably a fucking alias, because there's no fucking way. He probably made that fucking name up before this shit came out. Because like he's in some shit. So he goes, and first of all, to even get to the little like part of town where this shit is, they have to go on these like boats through like these sewer, like trash. I can't even describe, because I've no precedent for like the type of fucking poverty and how fucked up this shit is. So these dudes are going around hacking up people with machetes. It's like extortion. It started on these college campuses, dude, where they would like kidnap people, extort them for money. And there's just so much violence, like fucking riots and people getting hacked up with machetes and shot. And essentially they're funded by the government, because at this point they've infiltrated the government. Now, like I said, this like sort of parent organization, the Neo-Black Movement of Africa, officially, like their president denies their official involvement, but everybody else, including the FBI, because a lot of arrests have happened still. And this is global, by the way. Fuck this. Like I'm talking about like, yeah, it's Nigeria originated, but this shit is now global. Like it's in Europe, shit right here in Texas, dude. Like we have the biggest Nigerian population in the country. So matter of fact, like 50 arrests were recently had it right here in Texas because of their operation. It was mostly internet fraud stuff that all these people got arrested for, but all these individuals had ties back to this Black Axe cult. And anyway, so just watch this fucking documentary, dude. But so anyway, the NBM denies their involvement officially, but dude, all the like the FBI, like it's all tied in. Like it's almost obvious that it's the same shit. That's just the official branch of it. And the Black Axe is like, they do the dirty work. So essentially, yeah, they're doing dirty work for the government. They're swaying elections because they're hired, they're paid, they buy them cars. These guys are fucking hacking people up in the street. It's fucked up. Go ahead, man.
Do you think it's like the Nigerian mafia, kind of like
no, that's what it is. Yes, no,
100%. Or the Mexican mafias or Italian mafias.
It's like cartel shit. It's like
cartel shit, like Nigerian-based cartels.
Yes, it's just because it's a different country and a different sort of evolution of it. But that's essentially what it is.
And I don't know what would be worse, man, a Mexican cartel or a Nigerian cartel?
Mexican cartel.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
they are
all day long and tomorrow, bro.
I'll tell you what though, it's very similar. Like the like if you were to describe both of them and like kind of the things that are going on right now, and this all came like this accelerated like very recently, like in the last 10 years. Kind of the origins of it, I think, started maybe in the 80s, but like the extent that it is and how international it is now is the concerning part. And also, too, I guess the most concerning is how it's infiltrated the fucking government of.
That's strange, too, man. Because they don't have fair elections over there. They probably don't. I mean,
of course not. No.
Oh yeah. No, bro. Come on. I mean, Nigeria,
it's almost like Pennsylvania over there. It's crazy. Not as bad.
It's like Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Not as bad. But
you know what? You know what? It very similar similar. Nigeria and Pennsylvania. I mean, if you could compare two places, no, it's a joke. But anyway, I highly suggest to watch this. Very eye-opening, very scary. The other thing that was fucking crazy too is that because this is such a problem in society, and like obviously like the citizens are fucking scared shitless. But there's also like, so because of that, in reaction, vigilante groups have formed up who are just as fucked up and crazy. So it's coming from the other side to where they're so anti-cult that they're rounding up motherfuckers on the street like, this mother, he's in a fucking cult, and they're like smacking them in public and just like rolling up in like they're rolling. They wear their jackets and they've got their fucking organization, their patches and shit. They drive up in trucks. They're armed. They've got guns, knives, the whole deal. They're grabbing dudes like just at cafes, like in public, and because like okay, and that leads me to this other part. Here's the other aspect of it that's so scary. So they interview a couple people. They interview one guy who's like a professor that was a former member. And not only was he a member, but he was like a fucking hitman. He called, the term they use is a butcher. And that's the video that I posted on TikTok and Instagram and shit of him talking about like, he's like, yeah, they come for me. Well, fuck, I'm coming for them. Fuck you. And he's got this like walking stick that's like a blade when you pull it out. TikTok didn't like that because I think because of the way I did the video, it's like there's like fucking 10 people viewed it because they bury that shit. I don't care. Like I thought that was the dopest. I could have uploaded the BBC feed or whatever, but like I wanted to show that particular comment or quote. Anyway, what did it? It is what it is. So look at our TikTok page and check it out. Like it if you want to share it.
Yep, and subscribe.
And and then
Nice.
But anyway, so so what they have these people that are spies. So they have different roles for this organization. So they have like obviously the butchers, which are like, kind of the cartel equivalent. Yeah, for sure. That's kind of same thing. But they also have the scariest part. They have the spies. You don't know who these people are. These are people that are affiliated and they're listening to conversations, blah, 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 blah. That's how they find, they're like, oh, these spies are doing all the legwork. So they could be your best friend. They could be your neighbor. So it's just created this like predominance of fear through the entire society. And especially now that it's like legit, all these email confirmations that came out between like fucking politicians, government, official, like people in high places conversing and arranging with this organization.
Well, let me ask you something.
Terrifying.
The spies, what are they looking for in an average person? I mean, are they looking for loyalty or disloyalty? Are they looking for money?
Everything, all of that.
Are they looking for someone who just like shit talks about them and then, hey, this person here is not conforming to our, whatever?
Yeah, or rival.
Yeah.
There's also, I mean, this one's the most predominant, but there's rival cults as well. Like that's sort of their nature of the criminal organizations there. We're like, in the United States, right? It's like gangs, neighborhood gangs and shit. Then obviously there's like national, then the cartel obviously has reaches here in the States, and that kind of plays into the drug trade and all that. But like over there, that's what it is these like cults is what they refer to them as. Because it's not just like there's
worship
like
something.
Yeah, they were right. Like that's part of the agenda too, which is fucking crazy. So anyway, I just thought that was absolutely fucking terrifying.
That's brutal.
Yeah, when you watch it, it's they don't show, some of the footage, but I mean, there's definitely some shit that they show, they blur out the gratuitous sort of stuff, but it's very, very shocking. So it's not for the faint at heart. You definitely got to have a kind of pull your pants up when you watch it. It's rough, very violent, but very eye-opening, very scary and terrifying, of how this sort of, I don't care where this happens, man. When this is, you look at Mexico and their reach, like the cartels reaches and the government, it's a similar thing, man. And it's not, Nigeria's not a small country, man. Like that's
It's also
That's
not a
No,
very poor
Nigeria is
country. I
actually
mean,
very large.
Nigeria's a large.
Like it's fucking like
Yeah.
it's very large country, man. It's like a significant population. I believe over 100 million, right?
yeah, it's a. I don't know what the population
and
is,
the
but
thing
I
is,
mean,
like, once this reaches the government, how do you get it out? You know,
There's not much you can do about that, bro.
You
Oh,
can't do much about it.
206 million people, guys. That's
Damn.
fucking significant.
That's almost like America.
Oh yeah,
You got
man.
about 100 million less, but
Yeah,
still,
that's a
a
significant thing.
huge population.
But once again, that shows what happens whenever crime and these kind of
Politics.
extremist groups mix into politics and just government. So, I mean, it's once again, we've had problems with groups like that in the United States. I mean, for better or for worse, not well, mainly for worse, but like you say the Ku Klux Klan had infiltration in the United States like that in our government. We've had
Communists.
recently. There was that was blown
Yeah,
McCarthyism, but QAnon, there was quite a bit of infiltration with those type of people in government. So these particular type of groups are very dangerous, but now who's scarier than them? Are they scarier than Mexican cartel? I don't think so. I think
we're not there yet.
No,
we're not there yet.
They're
No, we're not
the the Mexican cartel is fucking
2024.
We're not there yet because there could only be right now. There's only one cartel. That's the FBI. They will come and fuck you up, man.
I have to agree with you. Them and local law enforcement. If you don't fucking listen, they're gonna fuck you up. So please,
you want to do a little cult thing in the government? Nah, the FBI is gonna come and knock your shit off, man.
Yep. Just be very careful because guess what? They will fuck you up. But moving on slowly, I have a little bit of a commentary. So I listened to the newest Joe Rogan with a Dr. Peter McCullough, I think that was his name. Anyways, a cardiac surgeon from the DFW area. So immediately I questioned any credentials from any doctor from DFW, but moving on, because they're all good. They probably learned, well, he says, well, I went to UT Southwestern. It's like, okay, well, we'll pump the brakes there, killer.
Yeah, but did you work at the Texas Medical Center?
No, he did not. He was not Dr. Red Duke. But in the end, he said some wild shit. In particular, he talked about some things in regards to nasal salvage. Well, nasal salvage. So basically, he said like if you mix like betadine, like in a small amount of betadine, or a small amount of bleach, I think was even referenced, and you basically do a nasal what's it called, aspiration. So like using a neti pot, that it could reduces the viral load of COVID in your nose. And of course, he was espousing the benefits of ivermectin, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what I have to say about all that. Is there a grand conspiracy going on right now with the COVID vaccine? Yes. 100%. Is there a grand conspiracy with COVID itself? Yes. 100%. Is this guy a moron? Yeah, 100%. I think at some point we need to start disposing of the charlatans that are pandering to whatever view to get more likes, right? This guy's a cardiac surgeon. He was talking about myocarditis in reference that like something like 30% of people never heal from it, which makes no sense because myocarditis is actually a pretty common thing that can occur, especially with drug interactions, things of that nature. So he talked about that. He talked about some really spotty shit. He referenced a bunch of studies that when you really look at them weren't good science. He even referenced one that had a power hour, an alpha like greater than 2 or 3, which if is not statistically significant. He said a bunch of things, and I think we need to be very careful because there's people that are going to push certain things. And he even said during one point, well, I have this drug plan, trademarked under my name. Okay. So there he goes, right? He talked about a drug plan, a series of pills given that he's trademarked the way to give it to deal with COVID. there's a lot of charlatans out there, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not trying to profess that I am the all-seeing, knowing COVID master.
Yeah,
but in the end, I believe that we should have common sense about COVID, which is what's been missing from COVID the whole time, right? So you have people on both ends, and they're kind of stupid. So just if you get a chance, listen to it, but take a lot of what he says with a grain of salt, because I think in the end, he keeps espousing like he's been, I've been published more than anyone else in history and da. Anyone who has to basically suck their own dick to make them seem cool is probably not cool, right? I mean, that's a general rule of thumb, right?
Yeah, you lose credibility if you're trying to if you're telling people why you're whatever.
Yeah, and to say that using basically a neti pot with a little bit of betadine or with, I believe he even stated bleach at one point. I'm not saying that what he's saying is incorrect. I mean, there are studies by Johnson & Johnson in regards to like using
bleach in a neti pot, man. That's messed up.
I know,
Dude,
but there are studies. But just to give a little bit of credence, there are studies where, Johnson & Johnson did studies in regards to using a neti pot to help break up biofilm, which would help reduce people having sinus infections. Okay. So basically, you would use 1 or 2 drops of the baby shampoo, in the gold bottle, the Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo, and it actually is very. No, it's right. Of course.
It's Johnson & Johnson's sponsoring it, so you got to use Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. Yeah.
But if you look at the studies, it was actually pretty effective. And for the most part, that Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo is actually very mild. That's why it's baby shampoo.
Not gonna do it.
Right. But that's controversial. But now you got some motherfuckers saying use a little bit of bleach or use some betadine. Like I said, guys, there's charlatans on both sides. Just be very careful with whatever information you get from COVID. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I think that's the common sense dictum we all need to understand. If they say, "Oh, vaccines are going to do everything perfect," no, they don't. Or if someone says, flush your nose out with a little bit of betadine and Clorox, and that's going to help, it's not.
All right, so I got something to say about that a little bit, along those lines.
Yeah.
So as you know, I've mentioned before that I do work, as needed at a hospital here at the Texas Medical Center, and I've been working at this place for, I don't know, man, more than 10 years, easy, right? So anyway, I work in the store products department. I make IVs and stuff like that. I've noticed that, and I've been working for more than 10 years. And I have never in my life seen so much seizure medications being made or ordered in this hospital. Now, my personal observation, I'm not saying this is scientific or anything, my personal observation is that this began after they started rolling out the 3rd dose of the COVID vaccine. Oof. Okay, so they got the booster and everything was fine. But dude, we've had so many adults come in with seizures. And I'm talking about just like we used to do, 20, 30 bags of remdesivir in a day. We're doing the same amount for seizure medications now. And I'm talking about laicosamides, valproates, Keppras. I mean, just bags and bags and bags of seizure meds that are being dispensed out every day to these patients now. And they're being admitted. Secondly, I've spoken to some ER doctors down there because I was wondering, like, what the hell's going on with all these seizure meds? We're running out. I've never dispensed this many in any given time. He says, well, check this out. He says, one night I had 4 heart attacks and 2 strokes come in. He says, and these patients I'm not saying there's a correlation,
right? Just
happen to be vaccinated. Okay, because that was my question. Like, what do you think they could be? He says, well, I don't know. I mean, they could be, they've all been vaccinated, so there's not COVID. And I'm like, okay, that's a strange statement, but okay, but I'm just saying, man, like, just be careful out there with these boosters, okay? Don't take it lightly. Talk to your doctor, of course.
I agree.
Because there's something more going on here.
Yep.
It's not a coincidence that this year and this time frame after such a short amount of time that the booster was rolled out, that so many people were coming into the emergency room with seizures, and these are adults.
Yep.
Typically, when you see seizures, it happens in kids. Okay,
Yep.
kids with fever seizures, kids who have whatever problems with their cerebral cortexes that come in with seizures, and that's normal. That's some normal stuff. But adults who've never had a seizure in their life, all of a sudden are experiencing seizures.
Yep.
And
That's
at this point in time, late last quarter 2021, the booster was rolled out at the third quarter of 2021. The fourth quarter of 2021, we're seeing a spike in seizure activity. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, be careful out there, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
Keep an eye out.
You have to weigh your realities, right? You have to weigh, but to throw in there, like I said, we are not providing you any medical advice, right? We're not doing that.
Nope.
But what we are saying is what we're seeing.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open. And also just remember, there is no biological free lunch. That's a common saying that we always hear in medicine. Like, you're always going to have a trade-off, right? Steroids, as much as certain people like to be proponents of it, like testosterone and stuff, it does stick in your heart walls. You will have cardiac problems at some point, depending on your usage amount, etc. Some are more accelerated versus others. That is going to happen. There is no doubt. You will have that problem. So there is no biological free lunch in that sense. So what I think we're seeing is, part of that equation. And once again, like I said, I'm not giving medical advice, but these RNA vaccines, in the end, may not be as good as they made them out to be. And I think we're going to start crossing that crux in the next couple of months, especially with the fact that a lot of the Biden mandates have been basically blocked out. And when more medical data comes through and we start seeing long-term studies, I think we're going to start really seeing that maybe this wasn't the greatest thing. I think if you're like under 50 and you're relatively healthy, it's not an issue, right? Your bodies can take a pretty good hit.
Yeah.
But I think
these people are late, 50 and above.
Yeah,
they're coming in with seizures.
For sure. And I think that's what we're kind of running into.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying there's a correlation. There's no scientific proof of this just yet, but I'm just noticing some very disturbing trends here, because
I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Be vigilant, especially because it's your health. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, man. I've been working with glucosamides and Keppras and valproates, and this hospital that I work at is not known to be the seizure capital of the world or anything, but dude, what the hell, man? Like, it just like this, all of a sudden, like an avalanche, just from one day to the next. We've been compounding so many seizure meds, it's ridiculous.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying. Yeah. So look, if you do, the big thing is that whatever your decision is, whether you get a booster, you don't get a booster, you get vaccinated, you don't, just
keep your eyes open.
Yeah, and also, if you do get them, just be very conscientious of your health for the next couple of weeks,
dude.
Yeah. Just be real cool. Just make sure you notate any type of differences. Your body temperature changes. You're feeling flushed. Heart rate changes. Overwhelming doom or anxiety. These are all symptoms, and you need to be very cautious with that. That's all. Just be conscientious, and if something does happen, you're prepared. You have time.
The other thing too, man, like just in general, be conscious of your fucking health. True. You only get one vessel to go through this life in, and the odds are stacked against you, right? Because there's so many different entities trying to make money off the easiest thing, right? So we talk like the corruption of the American, the medical system, right? You want to live or die? Oh, we'll live. Okay, well that'll be $250,000. that whole trend. It's just like food. It's like, oh, you have to eat, right? Oh, okay, well, good. So we'll make the most tasty fucking bullshit that you're gonna buy because we're gonna turn the dollars over. So this odds are stacked against you. So realize that. Realize that if you're going to, but it's your own. You own it. You own your fucking body. You make the decisions that what you put in your fucking mouth and what you chew up and what you swallow. So make sure that you're I mean, America is notorious for having a fucking absolute shit diet. I hate to tell you, but that's all you decide what you put. Ultimately, there's a lot of things that factor in and the odds are stacked against you, but you decide what you put in your fucking mouth and what you ingest. Just like whatever. And so that being said, just be conscious of that and take it seriously. Don't take it like it's a trend. I want to get healthy. I want to look good for the summer beach. No. It's like life or death. It's life or death. You're putting poison into your fucking system, but you don't know it because of course they're not going to tell you it's poison. They're going to tell you it's a tasty fucking, no, it's fucking poison. It's money. So yeah, man, fucking exercise. I mean, it sounds fucking cliche and bullshit, but like you really do, because I think that's the reason why people are dying in America and why they're so susceptible. It's just our overall fucking wellness is shit. Because that's not what our aim is. Our aim is that got to go to work 60 hours a week, got to make money. It's just not built into our culture. It's just go. And it's like an afterthought. But no, that's like the thing. Like you don't like you die. Like if you don't do that, you're gonna die. So do that. Take care of yourself. Make that an actual priority.
Yep. Because
you're gonna end up, you know what I mean? And we're not exactly taking care of people. We're just charging you more money.
Yep.
So think about it.
Yep.
That's why we got to take care of each other. See?
Exactly.
That's how we end the show, man. That's how we do it.
Yeah. That was a good
good
outro.
Ending. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. And yeah.
Oh, hey, by the way, we have new Twitter handles, right?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Good
don't
fucking
forget.
call, bro.
Almost
Yeah,
forgot.
man. So Benji, before you
off.
tell everyone where they can find us, let's see where they can find individual us, right?
Yes, let's see. Oh.
So my Twitter handle, I've got one. It's it's at Rick Blue Check. Since Twitter won't give me my own blue check, I decided to just name myself Rick Blue Check.
That's very clever.
I like it. I fucking
so
yeah.
I
got a blue check.
Rick Blue Check.
I got a blue check. Yeah. I fucking Rick went to look. No, I'm at Mexican Nostradamus at Mexican Nostradamus. So it's pretty simple. It's a easy one to.
Man, and I'm glad you got that. The one and the only,
dude.
That's pretty sick.
Pretty pumped when I landed it. I was like, "Fuck yeah, bro!"
You're the one and only, dude.
You know how many douchebags are already gonna fucking gank that name?
No,
that was such a
magical
magical name, right? It's such a magical.
Hey, there's no numbers attached to it or just
no, dude, just straight up Mexican. Dude, I got it. Mexican Nostradamus at Mexican Nostradamus. So I'm fucking dope. So yeah, y'all fuckers follow me just so we can make a bunch of people jealous that they didn't come up with that shit.
Hell yeah!
And then hear my occasional rant and horrible thing that I may post. So we'll see. I'm actually trying to. I think I'm gonna start. This is like my fucking Fight Club moment. Whenever Edward Norton started posting haikus and shit. That's what I'm doing with Twitter. This is my Fight Club haiku movement. I'm just starting.
You're not gonna do a Fight Club. You're probably gonna do
posting random fucking thoughts, dude. It's gonna be dope. You guys get ready.
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited for it.
Strap in and strap on. It's fucking down.
I'm sure that's going to be the case. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So the other place is just where you can find the show stuff. Instagram is skip_the_noise_podcast. Twitter is at skip the noise PO1. You can also find us on TikTok. Just search up Skip the Noise. We do have a Facebook page, Skip the Noise, one word, podcast, second word. So yeah, check us out on all that stuff. And also to remember that or look for the upcoming episode of Inside the North Side podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to that now, so you make sure whenever my episode comes out, that just goes right onto your phone as soon as it comes out. And also subscribe to us everywhere, man. So Apple, Spotify, whatever the fuck you got, you listen to your podcast. Google Podcasts is a new thing. You can even, if you've got a what the fuck do they call that shit? The Google, the Alexa but the Google version, or
Google,
if you've got
the Google,
if you got Alexa, yeah, if you want to, if you're just in your room, you're folding some laundry, just say, Alexa, play. Well, here, I won't say it because
it'll start playing that
they
shit.
start playing their shit. But yeah, you can ask Alexa to play our latest episode. You can ask Google to play that shit wherever you get podcasts, anything.
Nice. Well,
share our shit too. Get us.
Yeah, please tell some motherfuckers like, hey, you
Tell
bored?
people.
You want to hear some wild shit? Do that shit. You want to hear a big dick Mexican talk about wild stuff? The brown python. You want to hear a Mexican that makes fucking crazy predictions? You got me too. And you want to hear the moderator that controls and handles the ringmaster himself?
I like
Hit
that.
us
The
up.
ringmaster. That's right.
The
Blueberry
ringmaster.
sugar.
Blueberry
Here's
sugar
yours.
ringmaster. Fucking
Blueberry sugar.
smacking asses and rubbing toes.
That's
With
right.
that.
I've already rubbed my toes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And with that, I think we're gonna say a good night. You motherfuckers keep it real and represent.
Represent.
Peace.